Welcome to the inside. This is the kitchen of 1905 Mississippi. Coming to you live on the market. Wait till you see this house. Where do we even begin, Andrew?
There's a lot here. It's a really incredible property. If you're looking for water views, this is the one.
So when you kind of walk into the main level, there's a whole non-conforming space. It's about 729 of the just shy of 5,000 square feet that's non-conforming.
Right.
And in that space, you walk in, it's like you're in a regular house because it has 9-foot ceilings. It's all tile. You've got French doors, a living space, a bedroom, bathroom, closet, and access
full
to
living
that
room.
Full living room and access to the pool. The pool
Yep.
space is like 45 by 33 feet and 12 feet high ceilings.
Yep.
For this in-ground pool and spa area. That pool and spa area has access to the outdoors, the seawall, the bayfront. This bayfront is easily accessible to the Gulf.
Yeah, so you're right across from Big Stump Pass. And what's really interesting about this house, well, there's a ton of things that are interesting about the house. The history of the house is really interesting. We'll get into that a little bit. But also, on the second floor, you have a 360-degree balcony that wraps around the entire house. And it's not just that it wraps around, it's also deep. So, I mean, you could really put a lot of people in this property to entertain. You have views of the water from almost every single room, almost every single space. And then the elevator goes from the first floor all the way up to the third floor. On the third floor, you have a 270-degree balcony that wraps around, and you're looking over all the houses, and all you're looking at is just water views from one end to the other. The house was built like a tank. So back in the 80s, the house used to be be a helicopter landing pad, and underneath it, you could pull cigarette boats from Big Stump Pass underneath the helicopter landing pad, and drug runners were running drugs to this property, loading the drugs up on the second floor and then flying them by helicopter off the property. The current owners purchased the property from the DEA 25 plus years ago, somewhere in that neighborhood, and then built a house on the second and third level, and then the non-conforming spaces down on the first level with the pool. But what's interesting is that when you go down and you're in the pool area and you look up, the beams are just these massive steel beams that are covered in concrete. The house is built like a tank. So whereas, some of the houses that were around this area, because you kind of come out on a peninsula, during the last hurricane, several of the houses were literally just wiped out, completely wiped out. This house had just a little bit of water damage on the first floor, but it really didn't have hardly any damage at all. It has a brand new roof. It has hurricane impact windows throughout, and you really have a ton of space. The lot is large. The house is large. I mean, it's just a really great property. So, I kind of look at it as, well, what would the value be if we took this property and dropped it on Longboat Key, or you dropped it over on Boca Grande? You'd probably quickly double the value of this property. So, we're really excited about having this. We have been working on this for a long period of time. It is a significant price drop. So we're dropping the price down to $3,225,000. And we're really excited about getting this to market tomorrow. And we'll see how this goes. But if you need to get a hold of me and like to show the property, feel free to give me a call anytime, 941-586-2460.
And you can reach me at 941-544-7690. But before we leave, I just want to point out, too, there's a gas fireplace with nice travertine appointments, lots of cherry wood, solid core doors, high ceilings.
Yep.
I mean, they really strategically put great French doors and windows throughout to capture the view, block from any neighbors. It's a very soundproof, nothing's really soundproof, but very soundproof home. You've got the transom windows that bring in even more light. And when you accompany that with the ensuite bedrooms, the Jack and Jill, the downstairs, the upstairs, there's nice separation too, which is really great.
If you're a boater, there are two different setups that are here for boats. If you had up to probably close to a 90 or 100-foot yacht, you could dock it right on your seawall because you have enough seawall space. There's also a section that cuts in that has seawall on both sides and in the back that you could back your boat into. Currently, it has a lift in there, but if you had a boat that was too big for the lift, you can easily remove that. We also have a seawall company coming in and giving us some renderings. If you wanted to build a boathouse over that section, that is allowed down here. I know, I'm not sure if I don't think that's allowed in Sarasota. It is down here. So you could build an enclosed boathouse to back your boat into and have it essentially indoors, keeping it out of the weather and out of the elements. So if you're a boater, this is a great spot. I mean, you're right across some big stump paths to the open water. If you're looking to go fishing or deep sea fishing, everybody kind of internationally knows that right off of Boca Grande is some of the best sport fishing in the world. And so you will find that, if you had a boat here, and especially if you're into fishing, this is a phenomenal location. It's really, really great.
And we'll just end on this. You've got sunsets, dolphins,
yep,
eagles, all from your house.
Wait, let's talk about the dolphins real quick.
Oh, the dolphins.
I don't want to skip over that. We sold the house next door a little over a year ago. We had the buyer, we had the listing, and we found the buyer for it. Something that was really interesting to me, and this is in the summer, so we sold it fairly quickly. But during the summer, almost every single time I open house it, and almost every single time I showed it, there were dolphins that feed up and down the seawall that are right here. So almost every morning when you come out, you're going to have dolphins that sit right there.
I mean, this house is just one of those properties that really stands out as such a unique, rich in history property, solid home. Like when you said some of the homes around were just completely leveled, decimated. This is still standing in very good condition.
Right.
They did all the big improvements. It's ready for you to come in and do what you want to your taste. I mean, there's a lot of high-end, high-quality, big improvements here in this property. So it's move-in ready, of course. And I don't know if we mentioned too, the Trex decking, and just everything is just, the freshly painted exterior and so many things on and on. You're just going to have to call us to schedule a showing.
Absolutely. I mean, the roof is brand new.
It's so pretty too.
You're not going to have to do the roof for a solid, at least solid 20, 25, 30 years. So you have a lot of safety in this property on the water. And I'm always cautious in saying that, but this is unique in the sense that your steel beams and concrete, the elevation, the second and third floor are elevated a solid 12 to 14 feet. So you're really not going to have flooding issues in the main portion of the house. It has a lot here. So we're excited to show it. We're excited to get it to market, and feel free to reach out to us. Yeah, feel free to reach out.
Thank you.